Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today we are going to be testing the new Altergeist monsters, yay! However, that isn't good enough for me. I also want to ruin them. So, before I can ruin them, and show you what not to do, let me show you what you should do first, so you can understand why I'm going to mess it up. So for this quick combo of doing it right, all we need is Miluseek and Pukari. So we will go ahead and normal summon Miluseek, and we are going to link off with the Pukari in hand and the Miluseek on field into Hextia. Chainlink 1 will be Miluseek and Chainlink 2 will be Pukari when this is in the graveyard at the time of a link summon. Once per duel, we can add it back to our hand, and then Miluseek can go ahead and add Malowisp. Now Malowisp is a really cool card. When it's added to your hand, whether it be by a search effect, from your graveyard to hand, to your field to your hand, off of Pot of Prosperity, we can go ahead and special summon it. When this card is normal or special summoned, we can target an Altergeist in our graveyard, accept itself, special summon it, but it can't activate its effects. Oh, that's really cool that this is a tuner though. So let's go ahead and keep this going. We are going to go ahead and link these two off into an Altergeist link that's been powerful, but needed something to assist making it, and that is Altergeist Prime Banshee. So Hextia is going to trigger, and we get to add any Altergeist monster from our deck to our hand, and we are going to add Marionetter. When I say monster, I actually meant card. Yes, card, Altergeist card. Now this card, we can go ahead and tribute it, any Altergeist, and we can special summon one Altergeist monster from our deck to our zone it points to, and we will go ahead and summon Faker. And Faker, when it's normal or special summoned, when it's special summoned, we can go ahead and summon an Altergeist out of deck. And we're going to summon a new one called Permitted Trader. Now, ignore its name and ignore its shape, because, you know what, never mind. So, this card is a lot like Miluseek, where it can attack directly, and when it inflicts battle damage, instead of taking a card away from your opponent, you draw one card, and when this is sent from the field to the graveyard, we can send an Altergeist card from our deck to the graveyard, except itself. So we are going to go ahead and link these two off into the new link, Adminia. When this card is link summoned, we can send an Altergeist trap directly from our deck, and this will also trigger to dump an Altergeist card. We will go ahead and set Protocol, and the new level 1 will dump Revitalization. This card's effect on field says you can target an Altergeist link in your grave, special summon it, but while it's in the grave, we can banish it to afterwards normal summon Altergeist, and we will go ahead and normal summon Marionetter. And Marionetter, when it is normal summoned, we can go ahead and set an Altergeist trap from our deck. And Marionetter also has the other effect where we can target an Altergeist monster in our graveyard, we send an Altergeist we control to the graveyard to special summon that monster, and we will send itself to revive Hextia. So, this will be our setup. So what is this setup? So Adminia, while it's on the field, we can send a card we control to the graveyard to target a card a monster our opponent controls, and we can take control of it. And when we do, it's treated as an Altergeist monster, which is really cool, because both Hextia can tribute your opponent's, quote, Altergeist monster to negate a spell or trap, or we can send it off Protocol to negate a monster effect. But let's take a look at what we have right now so we can understand what's going on. So Hextia can negate a spell or trap by sending off Faker, or we can take it with Adminia, also possible. So when we send this off, we can then activate Manifestation to go ahead and bring back that Faker, which will then summon a Sequidius out of the deck. So we have a spell and trap negate, and when we summon it back, we also have another spell and trap negate, because that's not once per turn, it just needs to have something to tribute, so this is multiple times a turn. But if we send this off Adminia, and then take an opponent's monster, and then tribute it, and we revive this back, we actually get two right here. We can clutter a lot of disruption. So we have, this is a monster negate, this is multiple spell and trap negates, this is a snatch steal, and this is a bounce. So we can have anywhere to like 5 disruptions with this very, very simple setup. So this is how to do it right. So now it's time to ruin that idea. Now for this combo, all we need is Miluseek. And what's really interesting about this horrible combo I'm going to show off, it does explain that there is a weakness when it comes to just Miluseek now, where even though we've got multiple new enablers and extenders, most of the time Miluseek alone with no other follow-up just ends on Searching Faker, which might not seem terrible, but it definitely feels like it's out of touch with the rest of it, unless you go for Malwisp, but Malwisp can't get you to more Altergeist cards that way. So there's like a lot of iffy situations when it comes up with this, but regardless, let's show off just Miluseek. So we will normal summon this, and we are going to link it off into Artemis. That's interesting. So then Miluseek will go ahead and add Malwisp, and this can go ahead and summon itself and summon the Miluseek out of grave. Now, we are going to send these to the graveyard. We are not link summoning. We're going to go ahead and special summon Gigabyte out of the deck. When this card is special summoned, both players get to draw 1 card, so we will go from 4 to 5 random cards in our hand, and then your opponent will send 1 random card from their hand to the graveyard. So we each get to draw 1, but your opponent then loses a card afterwards. Or, really, let me rephrase that. They lose a random card beforehand, then they draw a card, or both of us draw a card. Now, this is stupid. We are going to go ahead and synchro summon into Borreload Savage Dragon. And with Borreload, we can go ahead and equip the Artemis and the we'll add this. And this will be a 1 counter Savage. Sure, it's only 1 negate, but it's a negate on the turn that matters, your opponent's turn. And then finally, Artemis has an equip spell effect to add any Magistus monster from our deck to our hand, and we will go ahead and add Zoroa. And we will set the possessed partnerships. So with this setup, what we get to do is have a Savage Omni negate, and then with this, we can go ahead and summon this and get a pop because we control different attributes. Or we can do it like this instead, where instead of making Savage, we go Dragite, because we will have a 2 waters in our grave, and then the Giga will go ahead and add Spiritual Water Hour Owie. Now, what is this instead? Well, it's a Speller Trap negate, which is nice, but it's also just Confiscation. So if we draw this, we get to look at our opponent's card in hand and send it to the graveyard, and if you have a Multi-Faker to back that up, that's hilarious. But this is more of another thing you can do, and this is wrong. Don't do this. Only villains go for this. This is something. Now, we got this out of the way. Let's go for the more intense one. Now, for this setup, it looks kind of familiar. You might be thinking, oh, this is the combo with Admidia and all those disruptions, right? Wrong. We are actually going to do something much worse. We are going to normal summon Miluseek and link into Hexia using the Pukari. The Pukari will add itself to hand, and the Miluseek will go ahead and search, summon Malwisp, which will then go ahead and summon the Miluseek. And then we will send these 2 away to summon Mr. Gigaman, and then we will get a search off Hexia, which will be Protocol, and then both players, our opponent discards a card, not really discard, so no Dark World shenanigans, and then we both draw 1 card. And now we will synchro these 2 into Borreload Savage Dragon, and then the most hilarious interaction I have ever seen in my entire life is about to come up. So, here's a cool thing about Altergeist Protocol. In order to activate this card, you don't send Altergeist monsters, you send face-up Altergeist cards. including cards that don't exist, like an Altergeist equip spell. And here's what's really funny about how Hextia works. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, that includes as an equip spell. So let's go ahead and see what this hand really does. Our opponent goes to activate a monster effect, we protocol it away, destroy it, and then the Hextia will go ahead and search Multi-Faker. Our Savage still has its 2 negates, so that's cool. But then when we go to activate another trap, that will summon Faker, which of course will then summon Sequidius. And hey, guess what? We get to Faker, trap, negate. That is hilarious. This is actually the most hilarious thing I have ever seen, ever. This little setup. And it's actually got me thinking, you could probably unironically tech Savage Dragon in Altergeist, because the flexibility of this tuner is a little understated, I feel. Sure, if you activate Multi-Faker on that turn, you cannot summon Savage. However, there's actually a lot of ways to make a level 8 synchro in here without ever really having to use Multi-Faker that turn. So then you can just equip a Hextia, and it's a floating equip spell and backed up by negates. There's just a lot of really hilarious interactions with this. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I stole this idea from Victory Flare's chat, but because I'm the one making the video, it's all mine. Teehee, take that. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Interflex will take your soul.